Well, good evening and welcome. I'm Meredith Esselat, NDB's head of school and a proud member of the class of 1998. Thank you. And I truly mean this. I am so sincerely thrilled to be celebrating our 8th annual Fund a Future Scholarship Benefit with you all. Just having this room filled with such incredible people, so many supporters of our community, new friends, old friends, it's truly such an honor to be in your presence, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Launched in 2016 with the goal of continuing to make an NDB education an accessible academic reality for any student who desired to be part of this dynamic community, Fund a Future has evolved over time to award more than 1,000 students close to $6 million in financial aid and scholarships. It has been nothing short of amazing to be back here at Notre Dame, a community that cataclysmically changed the course of my life 2 decades ago and continues to provide that same impact to our students today. We have Tigers commuting to NDB from all over the Bay Area. Some travel by bus, train, or shuttle, or a combination of all three, to be here with us. We have parents and guardians who work 2 and 3 jobs so that their daughters can be part of our incredible faith-based community. Notre Dame is a special place, and I'm not just saying that as head of school. I am always astounded by the compassion and empathy instilled in our students, the intellectual curiosity nurtured in their hearts and minds, the alumni sisterhood that extends beyond the classroom. Those are lifelong friendships, so many of them evidenced tonight. And the foundation of faith rooted in our hallmarks that guides their humanity. This is Notre Dame Belmont, and this is what your support continues to make possible. Tonight is about bridging gaps. Tonight is about reaching across the financial void and saying yes to a student whose world would otherwise say no. Tonight is about uniting as a community of advocates who are making a difference for deserving NDB students whose journeys, opportunities, and experiences as Tigers would be diminished without your support. So I thank you in advance for your generosity of time, talent, and treasure in being here with us tonight. There are so many people who made this evening possible. I want to begin by thanking our tireless Fund a Future committee, whose dedication over the past 8 years has continued to keep the vision of St. Julie Billiart, our foundress, alive. To our board of directors, many of whom are here with us tonight, we could not be this dynamically vibrant community without you. To our faculty members, your fervent dedication to NDB is unparalleled, and we are so grateful for the knowledge and wisdom you give to our students along the way. And to our incredible student volunteers and their parents and guardians. Students, we are so proud of you, and parents and guardians, we are grateful for you. I also want to recognize some members of our community in our audience tonight who are here with us. We are honored to be joined this evening by Belmont Mayor Julia Mates, thank you to our tri-school partners, Mercy Burlingame and Sarah High School. We are grateful that members of our Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur are joining us tonight. And to our honorees, the founders of Rags and Riches and Naomi Sablon Scott, thank you for your ongoing investment in the students and community that is Notre Dame Belmont. Your legacies have inspired our centennial anniversary this year, and your generosity will deeply impact the next 100 years of Notre Dame Belmont. It is now my privilege to invite NDB senior Sabrina Phillip to lead us in prayer. She will be joined by members of NDB's ASL 4 honors class who will be signing the school prayer in tandem with her. I invite you to join them as they lead our prayer.
Tonight, we will be saying our school prayer. If you know it, please feel free to say it with me. If it's in your tradition, please feel free to begin in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good and gracious God, just as the sunflower turns towards the sun, transform our hearts to be dedicated to you. Empower us to become a community of faith, service, and leadership, confident that we can inspire unity. Encourage us to be lifelong learners, mirroring the example of St. Julie. Joined with the traditions of Notre Dame, may we embody the goodness of God each and every day. St. Julie, pray for us. We pray this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
I know that it feels strange to clap after a prayer, but I do want to acknowledge those students and their leadership. I would now like to invite Jackie Rigoni, Senior Legislative Aide to the Office of Supervisor Noelia Corzo, District 2, to present Notre Dame Belmont with a resolution.
Thank you so much, Meredith. Thank you for inviting me here this evening to present this resolution. I'm here on behalf of Supervisor Noelia Corzo. Many of you may know that Notre Dame High School is in District 2, and it is represented on the Board of Supervisors by the only woman on the Board of Supervisors. And So Supervisor Corzo sends her gratitude to the school for educating our next generation of leaders who will find their place in leadership on the Board of Supervisors and in every seat across the country and the world. So I will read the resolution. Honoring and commending Notre Dame Belmont upon the celebration of its centennial school year. I'll read the highlights, not the whole thing. Whereas Notre Dame Belmont is an exemplary college preparatory high school where girls can develop their unique gifts and talents so they may achieve their full potential and serve the world. And whereas Notre Dame High School is celebrating its 100th graduating class of empowered, courageous, empathetic women of vision, now therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Mateo, State of California, hereby honors Notre Dame Belmont on the occasion of its centennial celebration and Fund a Future scholarship benefit, and on behalf of all residents, commends this organization for its contributions to the rich history, intellect, and character of the community. Thank you.
Our mission is rooted in St. Julie's vision of access to education, and specifically access for women to feel empowered in an academic environment. Fund a Future is directly related to our hallmarks, bringing students in who are going to be educated around service and empathy and compassion, being force makers for change. We want to make sure that any female who is motivated to be part of our community spiritually, academically, socially, wants to go out into the world and make an impact, we want this to be home base for them. We want this to be the starting ground for building their future.
Fund a Future provides equal opportunity to all the students, equal opportunity to access this amazing educational system, this amazing community with all the support and empowerment and access to all the extracurricular activities. And even if a student worries about being capable of paying the full tuition, they just know they're gonna have some tuition assistance.
A scholarship can be really beneficial to a student, especially if they can't afford this education. They're still given the opportunity to strive and grow and do really well. So these scholarships are really crucial to helping students get where they need to go.
I think Fund a Future is an opportunity for women to continue to lift women. This is our opportunity to continue to empower women and to lift each other up. And, you know, all girls education doesn't always get the buzz, and I hope it does. I hope it continues to grow because these girls sure do appreciate it, and we're only just continuing to lift other women up and empower each other.
The reality is, without financial aid, without scholarships, our students who need it, our families who need it, and really that's a third of our community receiving tuition assistance. They wouldn't be here. And there are so many students that I can't even imagine our school without. Past, present, and even those to come. We need every single one of them to be part of our community because we know how dynamic they are and what they're going to do in the world when they leave here.
If it were not for the financial aid that I received from Notre Dame, I definitely would not have been able to come here. And I'm so grateful for the financial aid that I received because the experiences that I got here at Notre Dame, I hands down do not think I would have been able to get anywhere else.
Well, I think the generosity of the supporters help produce the mission or support the mission of empowering women of tomorrow by just allowing the opportunity for anybody to experience this. Walking in these walls and seeing the interaction of the people and the students and the teachers and the way that they support each other in the learning environment to try and get the students to do their best is really an amazing experience. The best is yet to come.
This history of Rags and Riches goes back to the 1980s when we had this group of women, this group of moms get together, find a space in San Mateo and build out this resale shop where all of the proceeds would go to support student scholarship. It was a catalyst for us where we are now in wanting to prioritize financial aid continually, wanting to make sure that we can find a way for every student and family who wants to be part of our community to be able to financially afford that.
The way people volunteer and the way they donate, the way they contribute change. Those things change, but the need for scholarship remains the same. I believe in the Fund a Future in that it's an investment in the young women.
The group that started the group were a lot of friends of my daughters, or mothers of my daughters, and they're still friends today. We've all had a lot of friends throughout the years from Rags.
Well, it's so important because of the ultimate goal, which is to raise money so that deserving students can come to Notre Dame. In today's economy, that's, such a challenge for people. So getting more students to be able to come to this wonderful place is really our goal. And the committee's worked hard over the years to build this event up. And we really hope this year is bigger and better than ever before, and that people will come and give as much as they can, knowing it's such a worthy cause.
So 100% of everyone's gifts goes directly to support scholarships.
The future is in the girls that are here now and that will come after this event and for many years to come.
I want to say thank you. First and foremost, I'm so grateful for everyone who is here tonight. I'm so grateful for those members of our community who weren't able to be here but rallied support ahead of time, and I know that support will continue. To those benefactors who are sponsoring specific students and making sure that all of their needs are met. There is no gift too large or too small that does not have a direct impact on the student experience, and that's why we're here. Thank you so much. Launched in August of 1987, the Rags and Riches resale shop in San Mateo generated far more than $100,000 in scholarship money for the students of Notre Dame Belmont. Launched by a group of Tiger moms, many from the class of 1986, RAGS was the foundational cornerstone for financial aid here at NDB. It was run by 1 full-time and 2 part-time paid workers, relying most heavily on the support of an incredibly dedicated volunteer network. Selling all things from books to clothes to even used cars, profits generated went straight back to NDB, filling the financial gap for deserving Tigers. 3 RAGS team members were featured in tonight's video, though they are joined by countless others, many of whom are with us tonight, and several who have passed on, each leaving a bit of themselves in the tapestry of legacy that is and was Rags and Riches. I would like now to ask the founding members of Rags and Riches and any Rags and Riches volunteers who are here with us tonight to please stand. And I ask us all to please raise our glasses to these incredible women who forever changed the landscape and trajectory of student scholarships here at NDB. We are inspired by you, we are grateful for you, and we celebrate you this evening. Cheers. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce all of you to Fund a Future honoree, Naomi Sablon Scott, graduate of the class of 1990. Named one of the top 10 producers to watch by Variety, Naomi Scott has produced award-winning content for both film and television. She is a partner in Gettin' Rad Productions, the LA-based company she founded with her partner actor Adam Scott. Under the Gettin' Rad banner, Scott was an executive producer on Fox's Ghosted. She produced the feature Other People, starring Molly Shannon and Jesse Plemons, which earned 4 Independent Spirit Award nominations, the GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Film, and was chosen as the opening night film at the Sundance Film Festival. Naomi has produced 2 other features, which also premiered at Sundance: The Overnight, starring Adam Scott, Jason Schwartzman, and Taylor Schilling, and Fun Mom Dinner, starring Toni Collette and Bridget Everett. Naomi started her career in television on the late-night series Jimmy Kimmel Live. She is a gun violence prevention advocate and a founding member of the Everytown Creative Council. She also serves as co-chair for the Center for Reproductive Rights Los Angeles Benefit. As you already have done, please join me in giving a warm welcome to NDB alumna Naomi Sablon Scott.
Oh, excellent. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Meredith, fellow alum, for that lovely intro that I think I wrote a long time ago, sorry. And to the Fund a Future Committee, thank you so much for this incredible honor. I don't know about any of you guys, but I have not been here in 20 years. So it's quite amazing, and I got to speak to the students today, and it was overwhelmingly joyful. If you haven't been back to your high school decades after graduation, I'm here to tell you it's totally surreal. Even though things here have physically changed quite a bit since I left in 1990, I feel transported. In fact, in preparation for this event, I've had several months to voyage back in time, cracking open yearbooks, reading through journals, recalling details of those glory days with old pals. The stroll down memory lane has proved fruitful as I started to put words to paper. And then about a month ago, I got an email from Peggy Brady, who works in the English department, as many of you know, and is here tonight. Peggy was my excellent 10th grade English teacher, and like myself, an alumna of Notre Dame Belmont. She kindly asked me in the email for excerpts from my speech to use in a forthcoming article in the school magazine. A perfectly reasonable request, and yet, there is nothing stranger and frankly more terrifying than having your English teacher from 35 years ago ask you for an assignment that you haven't yet finished. I don't wish that feeling on anyone else here tonight, although Peggy, I'm very grateful to you and your stellar American Lit class. It's not often that I find myself in a spotlight or on a podium. My job as a producer in Hollywood is usually to shine a light on others. Writers, actors, directors, literally every other person involved on a set, in a film, or on a show other than myself. We producers are more behind-the-scenes players. On the other hand, my husband Adam is an award-winning actor. You may know him from Parks and Rec, Big Little Lies, Step Brothers, Party Down, Severance. He's always comfortable in front of a crowd, but when I asked him if he could perform this speech as a one-man show, he reminded me that the Screen Actors Guild is still on strike. So I'm on my own up here. Thanks a lot. Honestly, though, it's very exciting to have the opportunity to talk about tonight's worthy endeavor, empowering girls and funding futures. And where better to start than my own story? If I were to pitch this story to a studio or network, I would be sure to include a scene from a college graduation at UCLA, where I studied communications and interned at Columbia Studios, falling in love with entertainment. Another scene from this pitch would be Stanford University, where I earned a master's degree in media studies. Next, a montage of jobs. Where are they? Working at an entertainment PR firm, a tech startup, and at the late night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jimmy would make a cameo, of course, in this bit. And then the creation of my own production company with Adam, taking films to Sundance and Southwest and Tribeca Film Festivals and seeing them play in theaters. Developing TV shows for Fox and Netflix and HBO Max, and a big happy ending on a set, or me winning an Emmy or an Oscar, which has not yet happened. But the inevitable note from the studio execs who would hear this pitch would be, but where did it all start? How did she get here? Well, my Notre Dame experience began back in 1986. To set the scene, cue any song by INXS, Madonna, or Simple Minds. Back then, I roamed the halls wearing either a pale yellow skirt or a dirt brown skirt. I know a lot of you remember that too. Yeah, that was the dress code, not just for the skirts, but the entire uniform. It was a questionable color palette for sure, and I applaud the school for changing it since then. I guess I would have been considered legacy NDB, for my mother, Mary, and her two sisters, Diana and Lorene Francisconi, all attended the school back in the late 60s and early 70s. My mom, Mary, and my Aunt Dee Dee are here tonight. Classes of 71 and 69. I so wanted to come to Notre Dame too, but the truth was my family could not afford the private school tuition at that time. Both of my dear parents, my dad Ken is here too, but not an alum, worked and sacrificed so much to provide for me and my brothers, but this was simply out of reach for them. Thankfully, I was granted financial aid from the school in the form of work study. I had no idea what this meant, but essentially I had an assignment where I would perform a task at the school twice a week. If that meant I could go to this school, I was in. My freshman year work study assignment was to dust and sweep the chapel. under the direction of a Sister Claire Marie Murphy, a no-nonsense nun who for some reason reminded me of the Where's the Beef lady in those Wendy commercials. At this point in my life, my direct experience with nuns had been pretty limited, but my 13-year-old brain couldn't help from making that connection, however off the mark it was. In reality, she was probably as old as I am now. The chapel sat behind the dining room, probably where those bleachers are, and was an off-limits location for students. In my memory, it was simple, but also beautiful. Everything made out of wood or marble. The chapel was intended for school masses and quiet spiritual reflection, likely for the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, who presumably had an all-access pass to the place. Although when I was there, I saw no one else except the occasional appearance by Sister Claire. As such, these twice-weekly visits offered me some distance from the busyness of student life. There, I could daydream, ponder, and in my own teenager-y way, pray. Usually for good grades or, sorry mom, the attention of a boy. Unfortunately, this was also the place in which I discovered my severe allergies to dust. Still, I credit this experience as my informal and unexpected introduction to self-reflection and contemplation. Basically, it's where I asked a lot of questions. Am I fitting in here? What am I going to be when I grow up? Why did we memorize the prologue of the Canterbury Tales? What in the world is dust? For the next couple of years, I worked in the attendance office for Sister Catherine Arnoldi. My time with Sister Catherine was especially memorable. She had an incredible work ethic and took pride in her tidy, orderly attendance ledger. Some feared her as they came to school late without a note, or had to leave early without a note. But even as she took them to task, Sister Catherine found a way to make sure they could right the wrong next time. I loved that. Everything and everyone had a chance to get it right, which was so encouraging. She took a real interest in me, asking after my studies and extracurriculars, which at the time were Hostess Club, Student Government, and a club called Junior Statesmen of America, which was a speech and debate club, if you don't know it, that had long weekends away in Sacramento, which is why we loved it. Throughout the rest of my time at Notre Dame, I thrived. In Miss Lund's inspiring and thought-provoking U.S. history class, in various positions on student council, and as a leader of JSA, Junior Statesmen, boasting the club's record-high participation, I'd like to add. Overall, I was engaged, determined, and happy. Not unlike the students I got to meet today at school. Though their daily teenage lives are vastly different and more digital than mine, there is a familiar spirit within these girls that I immediately recognized and am delighted by. My work-study assignments were not just requirements of my enrollment. They were skill-building opportunities that allowed me to develop more fully as a young person. I didn't know it then, of course, but these experiences empowered me through self-reflection and mindfulness, through a convoy of nurturing that includes Sister Catherine and the many teachers and mentors who encouraged me, and through the generosity of donors who enabled me to have a first-rate education. Tonight's event is called Fund a Future. I know a little something about funding between financing our projects or in my role as a fundraiser for the Center for Reproductive Rights. A big part of the job is to illustrate the various returns on investments. And lucky for donors tonight, the rate of return on funding the future of a young woman is high, and there is so much research to back it up. It's nothing like funding an indie film, but please don't tell anyone because we keep trying. It really is the worst investment you can make. So let's talk about the tangibles. Young, empowered women who have the opportunity to graduate from a school like NDB overwhelmingly matriculate to college. Once at college, young, empowered women graduate at higher levels across a variety of data points: race, gender, economic status. After college graduation, young, empowered women will earn better wages. Of course, there is that gender wage gap that still unfairly affects women. So please, all of us, let's commit to doing our part towards true pay equity in the workplace. But stay with me, more research. It also shows that empowered women strengthen economies, and if you still aren't buying it, look no further than case studies 1, 2, and 3 from this year, Barbie, Taylor, and Beyonce. Recent studies show the staggering effect that these empowered women have on the world and themselves. They become more charitable donors, they have better health outcomes, and maybe most important of the intangibles right now, they show higher levels of psychological well-being. And speaking as a formerly young, empowered woman whose future was funded by donors just like you, we are also grateful, and as such determined to show results, growth, purpose, and to pay it forward. This morning, as I said, I got to speak to the students and share a bit about my story, being sure to underscore that there were successes, yes, but also setbacks along the way, and that those setbacks were surprisingly the most powerful learning experiences in my life, and they still are. When I was asked to be an honoree at this event, it was during a trying time in our industry, as not one, but 2 unions went on strike to fight for better pay and protections in the workplace. I wasn't feeling particularly empowered or successful, but as the Notre Dame motto goes, ora et labora, work and pray, every day. You see, something happens when the young, empowered woman goes to Notre Dame Belmont. She makes connections with the wonderful teachers, staff, coaches, and especially with other students. I've mentioned some of the mentors who made an impact on me, but I must also name my closest Notre Dame friends who have shaped me for the better. Bear with me. Nancy Dillon, Catherine Crawford Montandon, Olivia Ongpin, Cynthia Dold, Katie Loftus, Monica Flanagan, Joy Coster Munoz, and Lisa Delantoni. We live all over the world. Bay Area, LA, Seattle, New York, Evanston, Illinois, Barcelona, Spain. But luckily, 4 of them are here tonight: Olivia, Monica, Katie, and Cindy. While we have been in touch over the years, it was during the pandemic that the 9 of us started to communicate daily in a strangely titled text chain called Champagnes of Humanity. I don't know why. We have talked about everything from the news, our families, the highs and lows of our daily life, like when one of us got a new puppy, or when one of us sold a new property, or when one of our daughters started preschool, another middle school, another high school, and another college all in the same year. We've also navigated some of the heavier things in life, like when one of us sadly lost her brother, or another was unfairly overlooked for a promotion she deserved, or when one of us was handed a terrifying diagnosis. Through it all, we were there for each other and have made it through to the other side, cancer-free. Part of the healing power of this group is our collective memories. We still remember who we all once were. Girls with big hopes and dreams for the future, who roamed these halls in yellow and brown skirts, who studied together making up songs and silly rhymes to remember test facts, who sat in the dining room there and cracked jokes until tears rolled down our cheeks. We have helped one another to remember ourselves fully, that we were and are amazing. Forging strong connections with my Notre Dame sisters gave me a distinct advantage throughout my life. In work, I didn't view women as competitors, but sought them out for collaboration and counsel, just as I was encouraged to do here. When I was able to hire my own staff and crews, I knew that employing women was a smart business decision because gender-diverse workplaces increase productivity, creativity, and earn above-average profitability. Yeah. Building professional and social relationships with other women throughout my life has led to some great opportunities, not the least of which was being a part of the Time's Up leadership team that fought for safe and equitable work environments in Hollywood, or as a founding member of the Creative Council for Everytown and Moms Demand, looking to enhance safety through collective community organizing. That movie version of my life would most certainly feature the inspiration for all that I do, my two children, who are also here tonight. My son, Graham, is a thoughtful and bright 11th grader with college on his horizon. And my daughter, Frankie, is a creative and poised 9th grader at an all-girls school in Los Angeles. That school, Archer School for Girls, is a beautiful school, only 25 years old but growing, and it may or may not surprise you that Archer was founded by yet another fellow NDB alum, Dr. Diana Meehan, class of '61. I mean, talk about a return on investment. The future looks so bright with Notre Dame Belmont, ready to support more empowered young women and help them find their own spotlight. Thank you again for having me, and special thanks to my family, friends, my parents, all of you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Naomi. Before we move on to the next part of our program, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge our student volunteers who have done an extraordinary job this evening in putting on this event with us. We are so proud of them. We're so proud of their grace and their poise and their leadership. Could you join me in giving them a round of applause, please? So now is the time of the evening when we get to put our goodwill into action, when that financial divide gets reduced, and we are enabled to fling open the doors here at 1540 Ralston Avenue just a bit wider so that we can welcome in every student, regardless of financial means, to be a Tiger. And I am incredibly grateful to welcome to the stage Jackie Evans, graduate from the class of 2005, to lead us in this. Jackie is an esteemed NDB alumna and dedicated optometrist who is passionate about implementing innovation and technology into her practice in order to bridge the gap in access to quality eye care for all patients. As a proud teleoptometry enthusiast, she has found dynamic and successful ways of introducing her patients to the many benefits that exist within the growing healthcare sector, as well as educating fellow colleagues regarding the many possibilities that reside within teleoptometry. Jackie's personal story about her journey to NDB is a most compelling one, and I am so proud to call her my fellow alumna and NDB sister. Please welcome Jackie Evans.
So thank you so much, Meredith. It is such an immense honor to be back in this room with all of you to celebrate this year's amazing honoree, Naomi, but also to fund the very bright and promising futures of the young women of NDB. As many of you might remember from my speech from last year, I was a full-time scholarship recipient during my time as a student here at Notre Dame. The ability for such a valuable education to be fully funded due to my family's significant financial hardships impacted my life in more ways than I could have ever imagined. As I stand before you today as a wife, mother, optometrist, and practice owner of now 23 independent optometry practices, I can truly say that my gratitude for the world-class education that I received here at Notre Dame is boundless. In that very same spirit of gratitude that I will forever continue to hold, I come to you tonight to ask for your sincere help. You see, a priceless education such as the one provided at Notre Dame does indeed require the support of patrons to make the dream of a phenomenal education become a reality for those who might not be able to afford every aspect of one. If my financial hardship had ultimately precluded me from attending Notre Dame, I am certain that I would not be standing here today, as the merit of my professional potential would have never been self-realized given my circumstances. So, I ask those of you seated this evening, many of whom have contributed financially to my own education, which I so thank you for, to continue the legacy of giving. Giving joyfully, willfully, and without any doubt that your generosity will make a lasting impact on the young women of Notre Dame Belmont. Although the exact contents of their futures might remain unknown, it is certain that through your generous contributions to fund a Notre Dame education, that many more young women will continue to shatter countless more glass ceilings. And with that spirit close to our hearts, I would love to commence our giving. So, there are a few different tiers of giving tonight. And again, as Meredith said, no amount is too great or too small. So each of you, when you picked up your welcome packets, should have gotten a very large 8x10 number. That is going to be your paddle for tonight. So that is the way that we will be able to start our giving in the form of bidding. It can be a very fun thing. We also have some glow sticks out there to motivate you. The girls are ready. They're ready for me to be able to identify who you are. And with that being said, I'd like to kind of start off with our first tier. So our first tier of giving is going to be in the amount of $30,000. What does that cover? That is a tremendous gift, and that gift covers an entire year's worth of tuition for a girl here at Notre Dame. And, you know, it sounds, and it is a tremendous amount, but that amount is such an important amount because, you know, it really does allow a girl to have the security of all of the needs met, whether it be books, whether it be prom tickets, whether it be extracurriculars, intercession, all of those things for one girl. So do we have any bidders at our $30,000 mark? Number 3, thank you. Thank you so very much. Anyone else? All right. So, thank you again, number 3. So, yes, a big round of applause. That's a big one. So our second tier is going to be the $15,000 mark, which is a half a year's tuition. And that is a very, very generous amount that really, again, allows a family to, you know, have a lot of those worries taken off of their plate with securing their daughter a position here at Notre Dame. Do we have any $15,000? $168. Thank you so much. Amazing. Anyone else? Okay, well, thank you again, 168. Okay, so the next tier is a really important tier because it bridges an important gap with, families who are just about to make it a complete year, but are just coming up a little bit short, and that's our $10,000 mark. Anybody feeling willing to give at our $10,000 mark for any of our girls? 291. Thank you. 291. Awesome. Anybody over here? 165. Thank you so much. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so, so much. All right. Now, with that, I'm going to move on to our next tier, which is $5,000. $5,000 affords a student an international intercession opportunity. So intercession is the peak of our year outside of summer, that we get to really just explore the countless possibilities that there are to see the world. This is an international opportunity for a student to travel abroad for that time of intercession during the winter, and that is going to be $5,000. Anybody for $5,000? 17. Thank you. 17. 187 as well. Thank you. 6 and 5. Thank you. Thank you so much. 151. Awesome. Oh my goodness, so these girls are so lucky. Thank you so much. Okay, so with that, we've got a few more. We're halfway there. 2,500 is an amount that I relate to personally. I'm just gonna diverge for a moment. I remember being accepted to Notre Dame. I was a freshman, and I thought everything was kind of, somewhat taken care of, but something had come in the mail talking about the amount of textbooks, and I remember crying. I remember crying because I didn't want to have to tell my grandma, oh my God, there's $1,000. Where are we going to get this $1,000 for textbooks? And I just thought, if I don't have $1,000, I can't go here because I don't have books. I can't afford books. So this is a little bit different. Let's factor in that I'm the class of 2005, so it's a little bit more. So it's $2,500, but it's technology and textbooks for 2 students. And this, again, is so vital. It's the core of, being able to have that security of, being able to get your textbooks without having to worry about anything. Any givers at $2,500? $85. Thank you. Awesome. Anybody I missed? Number 2, thank you so much. Yes. Any more neon lights? Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So $1,000 is going to be the contribution that will pay for a local intercession. I remember very distinctly on 25th Avenue having a really nice dinner with Miss Brady, who was basically teaching us girls cotillion, and that was priceless. I still remember that. I was helping Monica today with setting the tables. I said, I think this goes on the outside, this small fork, yeah. Those are great. Horticulture classes as well. Super important. Anybody for $1,000? Whoa. I'm an eye doctor, not a spider. Let me see. Let's start up here. 194, 193, 248, 203. Keep them up until after I've called those. 100, 251, 172, 83, 178, 42. We've got 34, 305, you can put them down after I've called them, 117, 298, 295, 294, 218, 158, 232, 230, and 224. And I think I called 193. Perfect. Oh my goodness, thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. All right, so we are getting down to the wire, and we've got $500 the next tier. The next tier goes to uniforms. Now, believe it or not, these uniforms are not exactly made out of Teflon. They are pretty sturdy. I still have mine. These skirts are not going anywhere, but things happen. Girls need, clothes and more uniforms and shirts and things like that, and there's always a cool accessory coming out or a new sweatshirt. And yeah, I'm probably gonna visit the Tiger Cage tomorrow to get one for myself. But at any rate, that goes for our $500 mark. That is what our uniforms really go around. So anybody for 500? Whoa, once again, we've got 94, you can put yours down, 62, 113, 170, 121, 81, 204, 38, 47, 31, 297, 264, 235, 262, this is so amazing, 78, 153, 103, 265, 231, 12. And I think we may have got 62, 62's over there. Oh my goodness, and 165. Times 2? Oh, 265, so sorry, 265. Times 2? I love it. Oh my goodness. So the second to last, right? $250 is our next tier. Now, $250 athletics fees for one student, one sport, and one season. Athletics, as you guys can obviously see up here from these banners, plays a big part of our role here at NDB and the girls' life. And that's not just athletics. That can be, tri-school costs of, drama, choir, all of those things. Anybody giving at this level that feels so empowered too? Wonderful. Okay, so we've got 236, 240, 22, 201, 200, 250, 240, I've called you, 184, 311, 266, 280, 82, 165, 41, 45, 243, 270, 115, the light, yes, 274, 33, 71, amazing, thank you so much. 56, 226, 93, 287, 286, and 176, 307. Do I have any other eyes looking out for me? Anybody? I miss anything? Okay, good. Okay. Lastly, but certainly not least at all by any means, is the $100. Oh, and we've got 238 here for the 250 level, correct? Okay, you see, wait. Okay, wait. Let's. Okay. We'll clarify in a second. So the last level is at $100. $100 covers student activities expenses for one student. I'm thinking about something, I'll go somewhere in just a moment. One student, prom, formal tickets. I thought about ring because my mother currently has taken my class ring hostage. I don't have it anymore. She says it's hers. But that amount would go to something like that. Something that is so sentimental and so definitive of somebody's experience here at Notre Dame, a momentum, but it's sometimes just out of reach because it's just right over the edge. Any giving at $100? Thank you. 241, 222, 220, 15, 79, 73, 7, 21, and 162, 88, and 278, 102. Oh, and did I forget anybody? 254. Perfect. Oh my goodness. You guys, we did it. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, the girls are really the ones that will be thanking you, not today, not tomorrow, for years and years to come. And again, you don't always see the return on your investment the next day. We all know that, right? But I will just say, for the people who didn't know me, thank you, because it made all the difference that somebody thought I was worthy enough and didn't even know me to contribute to my future here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so incredibly much. I am just eternally grateful to all of you for your support. Thank you for being here tonight. We have one last thing that we are going to do to close out our time together, and I am going to invite Megan Gomez to join me on stage. She is from our a cappella group, and if I could ask all alumni in the room to please stand and to join Megan and members of NDB's a cappella club through video, leading us in the alma mater, as Naomi illustrated in her speech, to close out the evening. Concludes our Fund to Future 2023. Please stay to eat, drink, and be merry. Thank you so much for being here.